base, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10 touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap. Oh, what a beautiful night for baseball. Legion baseball on QCTV. Along with Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. We have sunshine, temperatures in the low 80s. And we have Champlin against Andover here tonight. And we are underway, starting a little bit earlier than the 6:15 posted start time here in Champlin Park. Batting in the top of the first inning, Justin Brooks led off the inning with a line drive base hit. And now a bloop by Chase Oxborough, also a base hit. So we are off and running here in the top of the first inning. Justin Brooks and Chase Oxborough both on base with a pair of singles to lead it off. Ty McGee, the catcher, now bats. Sam Frawley is pitching for Andover, the right-hander, going here. 17 innings pitched here for the Huskies. 13 runs, 10 earned. He's given up 26 hits. Has a ERA of 4.12, 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Teams are hitting .342 against him. And now he's in an early jam. Nobody out. 2 on, just underway here from Andover. And the batter is Ty McGee, the Champlin catcher. And he'll take on the outside corner. 1 strike, Joe.
It is. And gorgeous night, as you said. First 2 batters reach. And McGee, who played catcher on the high school squad as well, looking to get a knock here or advance the runners for Champlin.
McGee hitting .500, bounces this one towards third. Spencer Robinson is the first-year head coach for the Champlin Park Legion baseball team. Coaching down at third.
Yeah, off to an 8-2 start. And Jim, you mentioned they had a great outing last night as well.
11-0 win over Brooklyn Park. 2-strike count here, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aholka will bat next. McGee hitting .500, 11 hits and 22 at bats. And he leads the team with the 11 runs batted in. And he's got a chance to knock in at least 1 here with a base hit. Takes outside, and it's 2-2.
Justin Brooks also with an outstanding high school season. He's hitting .448 here in Legion ball, but was on an all-star team for the high school squad.
Overall, Champlin Park High School runners up in Section 5 this year, losing to Moundsview. Pitch in tight, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Andover got, to the final 3. They lost to Centennial in the elimination round in Section 7, and then Centennial fell to Anoka, who ended up representing Section 7 at the state tournament. Payoff pitch in the air to center. Step in as Heller, now going back, getting turned around towards the fence, and he makes a catch. What an adjustment by Heller in deep center field for Andover as he took the step in and then realized that he had made a mistake, quickly got turned around, but was still able to find the ball and make the catch. 1 down.
I don't know how he found that thing without a beacon and on the ball to be able to find it, because once you turn your back and try to dart back after it, an outstanding play in center field. And then he's got such quick speed. He's on that warning track. It didn't flinch him for a minute, and he made that catch. Critical play for Heller in center field.
It does help that center field here at Andover faces northwest, or I should say southwest. There goes the runner on first and third. They're going to throw all the way down, and the throw's in time. Oxborough on the steal attempt. Gets thrown out. Sam Abbas behind the plate with a gun. Now 2 down. Runner remains at third here for Champlin.
Hey, you keep that throw low. You keep it in a spot in case the shortstop, in that case Kelly, wants to cut it and get the runner coming home. They let it through. The good 1-hop throw by Abbas, and the tag in time to get Oxborough. Key back-to-back out here for Andover, led by head coach John Heath. Assistant is also Kyle Hoppy.
1 ball and 1 strike here. Zach Zahulka, .231 average, 3 hits, 4 runs batted in. He has 1 of the 5 home runs here for Champlin Park. And the pitch by Frawley is outside on the curve. 2 balls and 1 strike. Aaron Cohen would bat next if Zahulka can extend the inning. 2 on, 2 out here, top of the first.
Frawley likes to throw a fastball, but has a pretty good slurve as well.
Swing and a miss. Came with a fastball, and that evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Champlin Park, post number 600 as a team, hitting .323. 5 homers as a team as well. Off to an 8-2 start. Both teams have played in 2 tournaments here this season as well. Bouncer on the left side. Shortstop Kelly plants, throws, and a great job by Sam Frawley. Pitching out of a jam, 2 on, nobody out after the opening 2 hits here for Champlin in the top half of the first. No runs, 2 hits, and they leave 2 on. 1/2 inning. Champlin Park nothing, and Andover coming to the plate.
That was a big Sunday hop that carried all the way to short to Kelly, and able to make the play and get out of the inning. I would say the tipping point of that inning was the play in center field by Teddy Heller, who circled around, got his back to the ball, found it again, and made a play in deep center field. That was with runners at first and second, number 3 hitter up, and no one out.
I think it's safe to say that probably in the North Hennepin League in American Legion baseball, there probably aren't many center fielders that would have found that. And certainly probably Heller isn't going to find that every time that happens because you get turned around. But he was able to relocate the ball. If that's a sun field, if he's facing the sun, that makes it even more difficult. But just an outstanding job. If he doesn't come up with that, it's a whole different game. We might still be playing that first inning. Might have a couple of maybe 2-3 runs in already for Champlin Park.
That it is. And Teddy, great speed. They like to, of course, catchers are at a low kind of a component right now with just in terms of depth, so sometimes they have to put him at catcher, but you can see why they want him out in front of the ball many nights.
All right, here comes Andover. Their batting order here in the bottom half of the first inning. Leading off at shortstop, made a nice play to end the inning. Patty Kelly batting second. Senior left fielder Grant Peary batting third. Second base is going to be and was a junior Lucas Squire. Aaron Winters Boynton is the first baseman. He's going to be a senior. Sam Abbas, who will be going to Bethel, graduated here this spring. He's behind the plate here for Andover doing the catching. Teddy Heller, center fielder. He's going to be a senior. Hunter Besky, the right fielder, batting 7th, batting 8th. At third base, Matthew Bauman, and batting 9th for Andover and head coach John Heath in his 6th year doing the DHing, Kellen Butler. Again for Andover. 2-3 in the league, 3-8 overall here for the Andover Legion. Kelly, Peary, Squire, Winters, Boynton, Abbas, Heller, Besky, Bauman, and Butler. They're going to face Drew Kaluza, making his 2nd start, 3rd appearance here for Champlin. 0-0, 4.94 ERA, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 5 hits. He struck out 6. And he has walked 5 in those 5 2/3 innings. And Patty Kelly, the left-handed swinging shortstop, steps in and takes ball 1.
Yeah, hitting at an impressive clip so far this summer at 800.
Yeah, 12 hits, 15 at-bats. He has 12 hits in a row. Bounces this one to short, and that streak has come to an end on a couple of pitches. So Kelly, for the first time in 12 at-bats, he had hit and hit safely 12 straight with 12 straight hits. And not 12 straight games, mind you. That's 12 straight at-bats. And he's retired here 6-3, 1 down.
That's a Kirby Puckett run when he would get hot. So, as you mentioned, he's on his way also to play at Superior State. Retired, so.
Grant Peary will bat now, 333 average, 10 hits, 30 at-bats, 5 runs batted in. He leads the team in runs scored with 11. And he has strike 1 here to him with Lucas Squire due up. No score, bottom of the first. And that's low in the dirt, 1-1.
And 6 walks, also leading the team this season. That's a key component for those top hitters. So you can see a lot of pitches, report back, but also you don't want your top hitters to be chasing.
1-1 pitch on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peary out in left field. Mentioned Kelly. He's graduated, as Joe mentioned, UW Superior. Grant Peary will be a senior this fall. 1-2 up high. 2-2.
Another former Andover player. Had a great season playing shortstop up at Superior, and that's Noah D'Agostino. D'Agostino ended up hitting about 300 this year.
2-2 in the dirt. That'll fill the count. 3-2. So we'll have Huskies in around the infield there for Superior. Our baseball season is short here. You get to the Twin Ports and North. Season's even shorter in the spring. Pull foul down the first base line. Count will ride along here to Grant Peary. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Almost a pitching wedge to get at that one.
Good job protecting the plate.
Yeah, protecting the plate is right.
Count rolls along here at 3-2. The right-hander Drew Kaluza delivers, hit the other way, and caught in a line. Theraldson at short for Champlin. Makes the catch, 2 up, 2 down.
Both putouts here to start the bottom half of the first. And as you mentioned, Champlin, a lot of that lineup we saw at high school. And this year they were winners of the Northwest Suburban Conference, who are the Rebels.
Lucas Squire hitting .417. One of the young players on this team. You heard in our opening interview here in the pregame show, Coach Heath talking about not having a VFW team. So you've got some of the young guys that would have been on that VFW team that are playing here on the Legion. And that helps bolster the numbers here for the Legion squad. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lucas Squire will be a junior coming up this fall.
Yep, 6 runs, 4 RBIs.
1-1 to Squire, nobody on, 2 out, pulled foul. Little nubber down the third base line.
And you do, when you start the season, you know, each team in each post may be a little bit different. Who's going to play, who they want playing. Some prefer, hey, if you're not going to play college ball, we're going to try to get the
1-2 pitch, curveball, little check swing in the middle. Theraldson in front of the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. So Kaluza retires Andover in order. 1-2-3, bottom of the first. We played 1 here at Andover. Summer Legion ball here on QCTV Sports. No score. In blue here today. A couple of umpires, a 2-umpire crew working tonight's game in the North Hennepin League. District 10 American Legion Baseball. 1 score from last night. Champlin shut out Brooklyn Park 11-0. And then the other games going on here today. Rogers is at Osseo. Spring Lake Park playing at Coon Rapids. Westfall Armstrong hosting Brooklyn Park. And Osseo is playing at Elk River. As of right now, Maple Grove leads the league in the North Hennepin League, 5-1. Win percentage of .833. Teams have played an unbalanced number of games. So you got to go by win percentage. Champlin by win percentage at 3-1 in second place. Andover's 2-3 in the league, and by winning percentage, they are in 8th place, with still a number of games to be played, but just a few weeks left. Final games of the season for regular season, July 13th.
Correct.
1 strike the count here. Leading it off for Champlin Park in the top of the second inning is Aaron Cohen. And this is in the air to center. This one much more routine for Heller. And he is there, makes the catch, 1 up and 1 down. Aaron Cohen retired here for Champlin. That'll bring up Tyler Finau, the first baseman, wearing number 24 here today. Finau, a .318 hitter, 7 hits, 2 home runs, leads the team in that department. They have 5 as a team with 10 runs batted in, and we'll take strike 1 here from Sam Frawley.
Nice off-speed pitch, came inside, hit the inside part of the plate. If he tried to put a bat on that, it probably would have induced a ground ball.
1 strike pitch low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of the starting pitchers here tonight have ERAs over 4. 4.12 for Sam Frawley, and Kaluza 4.94. Both getting off to good starts here so far into the second inning. That pitch misses. 2-1 to Finau, followed by Theraldson with 1 down and nobody on here in the second.
Wind started to pick up a little bit here.
2-1 pitch. Took something off. It's outside. 3-1.
We had a chance to cover Anoka in Brooklyn Park last week. Steve Thompson and myself. And
how is Stevie T?
you know,
Up high, ball 4. And a base runner on here with one down for Champlin Park.
He was giving Jeff Nelson a bit of a hard time, who was doing public address, and also the music with his music selection. So, but in that game, it really represented last week the algorithm of Legion baseball, because Anoka started 3-0.
Here's Theraldson now, first pitch swinging, fouling it to the right towards the tennis/pickleball courts.
But then they had to go deep into the pitching.
Yeah.
And they had the All-Star game in the start of the All-Star series. The game
the high
they had
school,
Thursday.
the Lions All-Star Coaches Classic down in Chaska, right?
Absolutely. And across the Metro, too.
One strike
drive.
pitch. This is lined to left center. That'll be in for a hit. Heller and Perry over to cut it off. Heading to second, Theraldson. He'll have a stand-up double. So third hit of the game here for Champlin Park, and they've got something cooking again. Theraldson at second. Finau is at third. And the batter will be Drew Kaluza, who is batting .083, 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 hit in 12 at-bats. Champlin Park has had a scenario here. They had to play a game where they only had 9. They have 10 here tonight, so that goes with what you were talking about, just the rostering of players here in summer baseball. But it's been like this since the beginning. I started calling Legion baseball in 1990, for teams. There's summer basketball going on. There's summer football. For the multi-sport athletes, it can be very tough. Your time is spread really thin in the summer. This one is going to be lined down the right field line, and that'll slice foul. And it's a strike here to Kaluza. 2 strikes now, 0-2.
Boy, you've got certain hockey club components as well. Some footballs. I know a couple of teams are up in Duluth.
Some guys want to get some fishing in as well.
Got to drop that hook.
I understand Teddy Heller is quite the fisherman out in center field for Andover.
Nice. That is, we'll have to see if he's got a honey hole for us. He can maybe recommend.
Sounds like Lake George. Here's a liner to right center. Heller will have to go get it. This could score 2. Finau has scored. Rounding third is Theraldson. It's a 2-run base hit for Drew Kaluza, helping himself out. And then the throw gets away into the infield. Kaluza will advance. It'll be a single and then an error. And it's 2-0 Champlin Park.
Well, Champlin Park was certainly threatening in that first inning. Diffused by a couple of nice defensive plays, including a throw out and steal attempt at second on the throw by Abbas. But this time, they've been able to punch their way through Kaluza that time went with the pitch outside part of the plate and drove that thing on a line to right field for 2 RBIs.
2 runs on 4 hits here. Runner at second, 1 out. First pitch curveball from Frawley. Strike 1 to Tristan Wexeth, who's out in left field. I do not see Wexeth on the stat sheet. Lifts this one, little blooper. This is going to land in front of the right fielder, Besky. And pulling up at third is Kaluza. Wexeth, a little bloop base hit. 3rd hit of this inning, 5th of the game here for Champlin Park, just putting the ball in play in that one.
Yep, and not trying to do too much with that pitch, outside part of the plate, and inside out swing, a little flare. Finds its way to the grass in right field, so 1st and 3rd. And just 1 out here for Champlin.
5 hits in the game now here for Champlin Park. We go back to the top of the order. Justin Brooks led off the game with a liner to left center for a base hit. And a quick toss over to first. Winters Boynton holding with Wexeth over there. Brooks, 448, not a shabby average. 13 hits, 29 at bats, 5 runs batted in. A chance to add to that total here.
That game last Thursday as well, Anoka just 1 bench player with all the players gone.
The Frawley set. This is lined into left field. Peary will charge it. That'll score the run. And 3-0 now Champlin Park, 1st and 2nd.
Brooks on his way to St. John's, play some college ball, but every time I saw this guy hit this spring, he was just hitting it on the screws. And his first 2 hits tonight, no different. You could tell he waited for that breaking pitch, kept his hands above the ball and squared up on it.
Brooks picking up his 6th run batted into the season. First pitch swinging here is Oxborough. That'll be into center field. Caught by Heller. Runners will stay put, 2 down.
Well, just underneath, Heller being kept busy in center field.
He has been busy, hasn't he?
He has. I have him for 3 putouts, and then he ran down that ball to the gap on the double.
RBIs here this inning. Kaluza, his second and third runs batted into the season, and Brooks picking up his 6th in that previous base hit. Swing and a miss. Ty McGee, the catcher, batting here for Champlin Park. McGee flied out to center. That was that nice catch, nice recovery by Heller after taking a step in, misjudging the ball at first, and then having to recover and spin his way all the way back towards the fence, just in front of the fence, making a wonderful underhand catch then right in front of the fence in deep center field. 1 strike to McGee on the outside corner.
Good mix-up. First pitch looked like that slurve, and then the second pitch, a fastball. He dotted the outside part of the plate, now ahead 0-2.
No balls, 2 strikes. McGee, the 8th man to bat here for Champlin Park in the second inning. 3 runs in. 0-2 pitch outside. 1-2. If McGee gets on, Zaholka on deck.
Mentioned Abbas catching for Andover. He'll enjoy playing with head coach Brian Robbie at Bethel next season.
Hit the other way to right center. Long run for Heller. Is he going to get there? He won't. It'll land in between the fielders. Rounding third is Wexeth. He'll score. Here comes Brooks. The throw is in time. So they throw out Brooks at home for the final out of the inning. But damage done here for Champlin Park. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. And they'll leave 1 on. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and a big number here for Champlin Park in this second inning, 4-0.
Yep. Put up the crooked number, and there you can see the play at home close. I'll tell you, one of the most underestimated components are those cuts and being able to make yourself visible as a cut person when that outfielder, in that case Heller, who's all over the field tonight, ran that one down, had such great top spin on that shot by McGee. He was unable to close that gap. But we also have to give a special call out tonight, and that's
to a new father.
Congratulations to Taylor Johnson, of producer here at QCTV. He and his wife gave birth to Haley Kathleen Johnson, 6 pounds 12 ounces. Looks like she's already committed to University of Minnesota.
Whoa,
already.
Early
so congratulations.
Commit. In
yes.
what sport? All 3?
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics.
And
might be the earliest commit ever.
That just in, and I like to consider myself trending. And so
you're going to coach her. You'll be her gymnastics personal gymnastics teacher.
Yes.
Is that true?
My better half.
Exactly. I've seen you on the balance beam. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I always think they should have that average Joe competition when you're watching those national gymnastics to make you realize the difficulty on it. But anyway.
They should do that.
But congratulations to
Before the Olympic athletes go on the apparatus, they should just take somebody off the street so we can just see how difficult those things are, whether it's the parallel bars, whether it's the uneven bars, whether it's the pommel horse, whether it's the balance beam. I think that's a great idea, Joe. I think you're onto something there, because then we get a really idea just how great, because they make it, the great world-class athletes make it look so easy.
Yeah, and my better half, actually, a former U of M gymnast. And I'll tell you, watching on the beam, and how can people do that? 4 inches on that beam, and I would think I could maybe try to do the Karate Kid stance on that beam, but it would be ugly. But get a look at the head coach and the coaching staff there for Andover, and John Heath. He also coaches. Take a look there at the replay. That was a tight one.
Close play.
Everything had to be precise from
at the plate.
Heller to the cut and the throw, and the tag by Abbas.
Look at Abbas with the reach, the dive by Brooks. Did he get him? That's the question. Did he get him?
Well, the umpire thinks so. That ended the run, 4-0.
Bottom of the second inning, leading it off, Aiden Winters Boynton. Fly ball to right, and Zaholka there. 1 down, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning.
Up to grip and rip and get at it.
Winters Boynton, a .333 hitter. Leads the team with 10 runs batted in. Has a home run, 1 of 2 here for Andover, as Sam Abbas now the graduated catcher. Nobody on, and 1 out here for Andover.
Impressive average of 455.
Goes down and gets that one to left, lines it, and it almost went over the head of Hexeth. Wexeth almost misplayed that.
He had to climb the ladder to get that.
He had to leap at the very end to make the catch. Abbas went down and kind of golfed it and almost put it over the left fielder's head. I think that's what kind of fooled him. He didn't think that was hit that well.
When he went down to get it, he had that spin on the bottom rotating, carried a bit, got a good strike on it.
What was the spin rate on that?
You know what? I had the spin rate at, you know what? Actually, Thompson and I'll get this.
Here comes a pitch in the dirt. Teddy Heller now, the center fielder batting in the number 6 spot here for Andover. And Drew Kaluza's retired the first 5 he's seen in the game here tonight.
Heller hitting .263, on-base percentage of .391.
Popped up right side out of play.
There's certain players that just, represent a momentum push, and Heller's one of those. Obviously excellent on the football field as well as a receiver.
Hitting .263 coming in. Pitch from Kaluza in the dirt, who helped out his cause. Drew Kaluza, the pitcher here for Champlin. 2-run single back in that 4-run second inning, top half of this inning. The 2-1 pitch off speed out in front, and it evens the count 2-2. Nobody on and 2 out.
20th bat of the season here at bat for Teddy, and he's just struck out once on the season.
2-2. Just missed, low and away.
Heard a great conversation with Paul Molitor and talking about the strikeout rate and the value of all of that. We can talk about it later. It was amazing.
Rod Carew talked about it too. And yeah, those old timers aren't really liking what they see. Here's a low bounce on Brooks. It's under his glove and into left field. So Heller's in at first. That's probably going to have to go as an error. And it's a 2-out base runner here for Andover.
Yep. There's a bit of a shaggy looking infield here as.
Well, as dry as it's been, Joe, you got to let the grass grow a little bit more here. You put too much stress on the grass if you mow it too low in a dry scenario that we've had here so far this summer. So it's only natural that they're going to grow it a little bit taller, a little higher here, because they don't want a field full of dead grass.
And join Jim Erickson for the Turf Specialist show.
Oh, I've given that up. I don't do that anymore. Didn't pay well enough. And it was too dirty. Here's the batter for the Andover Legion, Hunter Besky. Fouls it off towards the Champlin Park dugout.
125 hitter, an on-base percentage of .364.
No balls, 2 strikes, no homers, 2 runs batted in. Hunter with a hit in 8 at-bats. Trying to extend the inning here with a runner at first, swing and a miss on 0-2, but he fouled it into the glove of the catcher.
Great
and McGee
throw.
holds on, and that's the final out of the inning. So the runner was going. The throw was a good one down to second base, but it's a moot point as Besky goes down swinging. First strikeout for either pitcher in the game here tonight. And we will go to the third. We played 2 here in Andover, and it's 4-0 Champlin Park.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Fans got their sunglasses on, their sunblock on here this evening. Hazy filtered sunshine and 85 degrees at game time here at Andover as we move to the third inning. Champlin Park leading at 4-0. Pop fly right side towards the fence. And it sneaks out of play here for Zach Zahalka. Grounded to short back in the first inning. 0 for 1 here for Zach. 231 average coming in. Has one of the 5 home runs for this Champlin Park club. 1 strike to him. Zahalka, Cohen, and Finau 4-0 Champlin Park.
And, boy, I tell you, we had a chance to see Champlin Park and the Rebels play in that section finals against Moundsview.
Low.
That team is a wild card. Excellent pitching. Of course, their catcher, all state, right? And he's player of the year, so he'll be back next year. Just some good athletes out there.
2 balls, 1 strike. Hit well to right. On the run, Beskey towards the fence. He gets turned around, and he'll bounce off the fence. And heading into second for a double is Zach Zaholka. And this Champlin Park team already now 8 hits. As we are just into the 3rd inning, Zaholka with the double. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
I like the way they hit. They're not trying to pull everything outside part of the plate. Barrel up, get that bat head out, and go with it. And you can see he turned around the right fielder for Andover at that last attempt by Beskey.
They put 11 on the board last night against Brooklyn Park. Here's Aaron Cohen. Flied to center. First pitch swinging here. Fouls it to the right side. 1 strike. 11-0 last night at Brooklyn Park last Thursday. Champlin defeated Rogers 5-1 last Wednesday. They defeated Blaine 12-1. Swing here, line to center. Runner at second, Zaholka heading to third. They'll play it safe as Heller quickly gets it into the infield. It'll be first and third and nobody out. Back-to-back hits to start out the top of the 3rd.
Well, that time tried to walk the ladder and go upstairs against Cone, but he got on top of that ball. You could see hands inside the ball and drove that with some top spin into center field.
Here's Fee now, walked his previous at bat, his only plate appearance. And I tell you what, Champlin Park's coming up and they are swinging. First pitch, they are not waiting.
It's a John Daly approach, grip and rip.
1 strike here to Fee now. Curveball misses inside, didn't break.
Well, it's a good
for
hitting
Frawley.
team, and you look at that team average, 342, I believe.
323.
Oh, see, that's just I'm just trying to create rumors, but
unless you have an updated batting average after last night, maybe that's a bouncer foul third base way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Theraldson will follow. Nobody out in this 3rd inning, and Champlin Park threatening for more, leading it 4-0, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Finau. Frawley pitch off the end of the bat right side. That's out of play, and it continues 1-2.
It's a great team. They're a disciplined hitting team, and they'll battle when they're up there. They rarely chase.
Champlin Park 8-2. Their 2 losses. They lost to Alexandria 10-2 at the Alexandria tournament, then lost to Anoka a week ago, 4-3 at Castle Field. 2-2. Here the count to Tyler Finau. The Frawley pitch, back up the middle and into center for a hit. Zaholka will score. 5-0 Champlin Park. 3 straight hits here in the 3rd inning for Champlin Park. Zaholka, Cohen, and Finau, and Finau picks up the RBI.
Yeah, had a chance to see him pitch quite a bit this year. Not hit as much in high school ball, but he waited for that pitch at that right time and then drove it right up the middle.
Finau's 11th run batted into the season. That ties him with McGee. And now swinging away is Theraldson. That's at short. Quick play at third and touching the bag with his glove as the third baseman Bauman, and a nice pick by Kelly. And that's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Bauman a transfer over from Anoka. Nice play. I think he wanted to get in position. Got a little bit far behind the bag. Wanted to make sure.
5-0 Champlin Park here. Kaluza is the batter now. Runners are at first and second. They're not holding with the runner at first. First baseman Winters Boyne playing in front of the runner. And an off-speed breaking ball into Kaluza, low and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Kaluza picked up his 2nd and 3rd runs batted into the season on a 2-run base hit back in the 2nd. Here's the Frawley 1-0 pitch. Popped him up right side. In is Beskey, and he'll make the catch in shallow right field. And now 2 down.
Jim, I'm trying to decide. Is this the smoke or is this the cloud cover?
Combination. There's still a little bit of that smoke. It's supposed to clear out tomorrow. weather patterns will push it to the east. Wisconsin can have it.
Yeah, please take it. And we get to come back here on Thursday to watch another game and call it.
Wexeth, the number 9 hitter here, he got into the hit parade with a single in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. Will take strike 1. 3 hits this inning, 5 hits last inning, 2 innings in the first, 2 hits. 10 hits here in the game for Champlin Park. The hitting shoes are on.
Yeah, they'll flip the lineup.
1 strike. On the ground to second. That tall grass will slow it up. They'll go to second, get the force out there for the 3rd out of the inning. Champlin Park, though, adds to their lead here. They get a run on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave 1, 2.5. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Champlin Park 5 and Andover nothing here on QCTV Sports.
Well, not quite a crooked number, but nonetheless, they sketch a lineup for that 5-0 lead, and you're seeing Champlin get up there. Grip, rip, seeing the pitch they like, but not chase. A very disciplined approach. If that ball's coming down the middle, they're going to drive that thing up the middle, but you saw a couple of them do, or to right field. Working now the 3rd inning here for Champlin, having an impressive start as Kaluza.
Yeah, Champlin Park 8-2. Their wins, they opened it with 5 straight wins. Maple Grove, Coon Rapids. They took on Glenwood Lowry Legion. I don't even know where that is. That was in the Alexandria tournament.
Must be out by Starbuck.
And they got Becker, Tracy, Alexandria all playing. You get those 4 games in a 3-day stretch. Those Legion summer tournaments are usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They've got one of those. Champlin Park does coming up, not this upcoming weekend, but the next weekend after the 4th of July, they go to Bloomington. Meanwhile, Andover has played in a couple of tournaments as well, and they've gone 1-5. Their overall record coming into the game here tonight at 3-8, 2-3 in the league, as they'll bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Andover's got some work to do as they're down 5-0 with Bauman, Butler, and then the top of the order, Patty Kelly, due up.
Well, some excellent baseball coming up just after the 4th in that Gopher Classic. If you're in the area, go out to Anoka. I think they're going to have 15 games played out at Castle.
And that's a multi-site tournament.
Correct.
With how many teams? What's the recent count on how many teams?
Gosh, I want to say we're close to like 50 teams because there's
amazing.
8 different sites.
Yeah, 1 ball, no strikes here to Bauman.
And you
His
see
first plate appearance of the game, 2 balls and no strikes now. That one in the dirt.
It's just, I enjoy watching all levels of ball, but you also get to, there's some teams from Nebraska.
2-0, low and in, 3-0 with Butler on deck.
Teams from out on the West Coast, and it's just a joy to watch. Different brands of baseball.
And you're going to see a lot of players committed to play college, going on to play college the next season. There's a 4-pitch walk. Matthew Bauman, the transfer from Anoka, is on at first base. First walk given up in the game by Drew Kaluza. And the number 9 hitter, the DH, Kellen Butler, will bat here for Andover. Butler hitting 111, 1 hit, 9 at bats, has an RBI on the season. Toss over to first. Finau is playing over there and holding. Oxborough's the second baseman for Champlin Park. Theraldson at short, Brooks at third. In the outfield here for Champlin, Wexeth, Cohen, and Zahalka left to right in the outfield. And the first pitch of the left-handed swinging Butler is up and away, ball 1.
Well, McGee had a heck of a throw to end that bottom of the 2nd. And you are able to catch Teddy Heller stealing. And he had him by stride. Good tag by Oxborough as well.
1-0 on the ground. Let's see if they can get 2. It's going to be a tough play. They'll get just 1 at second base. Bauman retired. Fielder's choice. Gets Butler to first. 1 out. Just not hit hard enough, and just not enough time. They would have had the second baseman. Oxborough would have to cover first and get over in time. And Butler showed some pretty good speed down the line as well. So with 1 out, we'll go to the top of the order. And here's Andover's Patty Kelly. Grounded to short in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. 1 out with a runner at first. 4-0, now 5-0 Champlin Park. Another grounder to first. Finau knocks it down. Will he have a play? He won't. Nobody's there. And the toss to a phantom player covering the bag, and nobody's going to advance off of that.
I think you got to give him a hit there. He was probably going to outrace anybody to the base. That was a hard knock. Went off the calf of the first baseman.
All right, I'll
ball.
go with your scoring ruling there, Joe.
I'm going to say it's just a tough ball to handle.
Okay. Give him the benefit of the doubt there. That would go as Andover's first hit of the ball game, but they've got something here going, first and second with one out. And Grant Peary, the senior left fielder, lined to short back in the first, 0 for 1.
Yep, hit a soft liner in that first inning where
Takes low and in here, ball 1.
Thorelson there had all 3 putouts in that first inning for Champlin.
Tying a record held by many. 1 ball and no strikes. Real first jam here for Drew Kaluza. This is turned on, pulled well, fouled on the right field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. The only other base runner before this inning for Andover was Teddy Heller, who reached on an error back in the second inning.
A good-looking left-handed swing for Perry.
Perry steps back in, fouls it at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lucas Squire on deck. Andover up next for them at St. Michael. Again, St. Michael Blue tomorrow. And then they've got Blaine Ham Lake here on Thursday, another game that we'll have here on QCTV. And then both teams get a nice break during the 4th of July weekend. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outside, 2-2.
Perry's got that natural left-handed swing that kind of leans towards that wheelhouse, low and inside, just off the knee.
Like Will Clark?
Yeah, exactly.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Kaluza checks the runners, pitches it. That's off the glove of McGee all the way back to the backstop. And the runners will move up now, second and third here for Andover. That was clearly off the glove. Wild pitch or pass ball, Joe?
That's
You're kind of our official scorer here tonight.
That was off the tip of the glove. I think he was kind of trying to keep an eye on the runners while that ball was coming in close to the knees or the ankles.
So many things to worry about when you're behind the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes, just below the knees, ball 4.
That was a tough one to watch, but he did.
Second walk of the inning, that'll load him up. 5-0 Champlin Park, but Andover here with 1 down and the bases loaded will bring up Lucas Squire. Butler at third. Kelly is at second. And Peary now at first. Squire grounded to short back in the first inning.
Peary again picks up the walk, his 7th, leading the team with those 7 walks. Bases juiced now for Andover.
Squire takes a strike. Kaluza with the bases loaded, working from the wind, delivers, bouncer to short again. Thorelson could be 2, out there. Throw to first in time with the bases loaded, an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. And boy, does Kaluza get out of the jam there, and he keeps Andover off the board. Andover here in the third, no runs, 1 hit. And with the double play, they leave 2 on. We go to the 4th after 3, 5-0 Champlin Park.
Grow up together. He's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug. You know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for you. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
New pitcher here for Andover, 5-0 Champlin Park as they go to the top of the 4th inning. That new pitcher is Deacon Eckes, coming in, throwing 4 to 3rd innings, 7 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, walk 5. Still looking for his first strikeout. His ERA 11.31. He'll try to get that number down a little bit here And, of course, he's going to try and keep the main number he wants to keep down right now, the number of runs that Champlin Park has scored, as they've put 5 runs on the board here with 10 hits.
And, you know, they were squaring up, probably through well. Was fortunate Champlin did not post any runs in that first inning. But second and third inning, they were starting to get that rhythm going. Put up another 1 spot in that third, 4 in the second. And there's 5-0 lead now, and kind of get everyone some pitching reps here on a night like this, especially with the number of games this Andover squad has over the next 3 nights.
And leading it off, top of the order for Champlin Park and Justin Brooks. And the first offering from Eckes is a ball, 1-0 the count.
Even more significant that they just flipped the lineup.
Brooks.
Third at bat here for Brooks.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 with an RBI.
He has scalded each of his hits.
Here's the 1-0 on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The line on Frawley, 3 innings pitched, 5 runs, all of them earned. 10 hits, no strikeouts, 1 walk. That was just his second walk he had given up here this season. 1-1 to Brooks. Sidearm in the air to right center field. On the run, Besky and Heller, and they're not going to get there. That's going to split them all the way to the base of the fence. Brooks heading to second. He's going to turn on the speed for 3. He'll slide. No, he'll be standing for a triple. Brooks, a standing triple, stand-up triple. He's 3 for 3.
I enjoy watching him hit. As I mentioned, we covered about 4 or 5 of their games this year, Jim, in high school. And just how he's able to square up. He's patient. He rarely takes a swing at a bad pitch. That time went the other way, kind of an inside out, and even barreled that up to the gap to the point that even Teddy Heller couldn't track that down.
Leadoff triple, Brooks at third. Oxborough now batting for Champlin. Off the handle towards right field. Knocked down by the second baseman. He'll toss it over to first. He'll get the out. Nice job by Squire. Got a funny little bounce there. The dirt and where the grass and the dirt meet. Oxborough will give him an RBI. He'll be retired, and it's 6-0 Champlin Park.
Yeah, that ball kind of had a little burp to it on that second bounce. It almost got by, but he got his body over. Got some good footwork and squared up to use his chest as a backboard to make that play.
Here's Ty McGee now, 6-0 Champlin Park with a run in here in the 4th. And the first pitch to McGee is up high. Oxborough picking up RBI number 4 on the season with that RBI ground out, scoring Brooks, who had led off the inning with a triple.
McGee's had a couple of impressive at-bats. The first time a deep fly to center.
Takes this one up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Singled back in the second. He's 1 for 2. If you're just joining us, Champlin Park, 4 runs in the second, 1 in the third, now 1 here in the 4th. Leading at 6-0. 2-0. Hit the other way, right side. First baseman Winters Boynton to take a look, and it's out of play. 2-1.
Mentioned high school, having a chance to play a lot of Legion ball myself in the southwest part of the state, and always loved going to see and play in New Ulm.
Quite a baseball town, and boy, did they do a redo of their baseball field too. There's one that's fouled back, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and in one of their runs, they won the national championship of all American Legion. I can remember them. We're getting ready for football, and they're still playing.
Yeah.
I think it was out west was the national championship at that time. I think it was Tom and Terry Steinbach.
And of course, the amateur and town team ball down there also immensely competitive and high level. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sahalka due up next, 1 down. Eckes in relief of Frawley here for Andover, and it's ball 4. Second walk given up by Andover pitching here this evening, and runner on with 1 out. Last year when these teams played, Champlin beat Andover 12-10 on July 6th. Champlin Park coming into the game tonight, 26 runs scored, 13 runs against. Andover has scored a lot of runs. These are in just league games too, these stats. 41 runs scored in league games, 27 against. As the batter is Zach Zaholka. Doubled his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. First pitch swinging here, and it's fouled, pushed to the right side. I'd like to see the stat here, how many first pitches they've swung at here in this game.
I know. That would be a great analytic.
They've been very aggressive.
That time, you can see Eckes came in right on his hands. He was, I think, more defending himself that time than taking a pure cut.
Deacon with his set, checks the runner at first. McGee First baseman Winters Boynton holding with him there in the dirt, 1-1.
Of course, then you want to see the analytic of how many times that pitch inside will induce a breaking pitch next. And that's close to 100%, I'm guessing.
1 ball, 1 strike with Aaron Cohen in the on-deck circle. Champlin Park, a 6-0 lead. Set in the Eckes pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him.
There we go.
To swing and miss at that. Foul tip actually in the glove of Abbas. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A little spinner that time by Eckes. Ahead in the count 1-2. Let's see how Zahalka will handle this at bat. As you mentioned, coming in hitting .231, an on base of .286, and a double tonight already.
The 1-2
Nice.
drops sidearm there, and it's outside. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Champlin Park, their schedule, they play tomorrow as well. They host Osseo at Spring Lake Park Thursday, then the 4th of July break. Another toss over to first. Winters Boynton is the first baseman. Squires playing at second. Just around the horn here for Andover. Patty Kelly at short. Bauman at third. Behind the plate, Sam Abbas. And Deacon Eckes in relief of Sam Frawley, who went the first 3 innings. And he delivers 2-2 in off the handle and fouled and fought off to the right side. 2-2.
He's really working Zahalka in on the hands. Another foul ball here, and see if he comes back with that drop breaking pitch. A little sidearm. Try to get him to reach.
It's been pretty effective. Looking for another out here. 1 down with that runner on. Missed it high. Snap throw down by Abbas, and getting back is McGee.
Good fire down by Abbas. Just a half step out. Mentioned on his way to Bethel, Brian Robbie, of course, his son's already been drafted in his 2nd season, I believe, of minor league ball. 6th round pick, I believe.
3-2 pitch. There goes the runner. It's ball 4. So back-to-back walks here. 2 runners on. McGee to second. Zahalka's on at first with 1 out. Aaron Cohen has flied to center and singled. 1 for 2 here today as one of the 11 hits. 2 hits in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the third, and that leadoff triple by Justin Brooks, who then was driven in on that RBI ground out by Oxbarrel, making it 6-0, and that's where right now as Cohen steps in, looks at ball 1.
Dropping the elbow that time, kind of inducing that pitch to go upward, project upward.
Up high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Struggling,
Time
good
called.
job by Abbas. I always liked that as a coach, when the catcher would just go out there and realize, he's thrown a lot of pitches back to back to back. Let's just try to break that bad cadence and just talk about anything just to give him a couple of breaths. And plus, this way you don't burn a visit from the coach.
You mean talk about anything like here you're updated on Stranger
International
Things?
diplomacy.
Yes. What are you watching on streaming? Anything good?
Yeah, what's trending.
Did you catch the latest episode of The Walking Dead?
Absolutely.
I don't know what's popular with
I
high
read the
school
book
age
hardcover,
kids.
and
2 balls and no strikes here to Cohen. He's back behind the plate as Abbas. Here's the pitch, fouled off the backstop, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike with Finau on deck.
did you know that yesterday, on that day in 1994, Kirby Puckett passed Carew for the all-time hits mark?
And he is still the all-time hits leader for the Twins. Maurer got close, but I think he was 30 or 40 short. And that pitch is on the outside corner. It evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was in 1994 that happened. And the sad part is 2 years later, Kirby's out of baseball. 2-2 with 1 out. First and second here for Champlin Park. They're not holding with the runner at first.
There's a drop-down pitch again. I was living in Colorado at that time. I was waiting for Kirby because he was supposed to come out to an exhibition game against the Rockies when they announced
the new Rockies team, and they played at Mile High, right?
Yep.
Payoff pitch, 3-2. Hit the other way. Line hit pretty well, but that'll be foul, and they'll stay 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, they played the first couple of years to sellouts of 80,000 plus at Mile High Stadium. 425 feet to dead center.
Yeah.
And it was about 290 down the left field line in that Mile High Stadium. It was
Yeah.
tough for pitchers.
3-2 up high, ball 4.
Boy, he's
And
got
that'll
himself.
load him up. So that's
He's
3
walked.
straight walks here. They've walked the bases loaded for Tyler Finau. Yeah, the thing about Mile High Stadium is a baseball stadium. The entire side of the bleachers would slide. The
Yep.
upper deck, the
Correct.
lower deck would slide so they could fit a football or fit a baseball stadium inside of that football stadium. That entire side of the stadium slid back on rails.
And, you
And
know,
it was really cool.
they'd sell out.
Yeah.
They sold out, but they had dollar seats in center field because I think you needed
That was a
some
long ways
pretty
away.
maybe combat-like binoculars from center field for $1. You could go to the rock pile. And when they moved to the new field out there at Coors, they had kind of asked if they were going to keep it, and they did. $5 tickets out in center field, obviously a little smaller. But yeah, Dante Bichette, Andres Galarraga, the big cat,
Oh, yeah.
all the players. Just some history out there. They did a great job of getting some instant offense and engage the fans out there. But the one thing
Was Larry Walker on those early teams?
he was when they got
to.
to. He got a couple of years
Okay.
later after they moved to Coors Field. Yep. And then of course Mike Kingery, a guy here locally from Minnesota, had a couple of fantastic years.
6-0 is our score. Bases loaded, 1 out after a conference on the mound. Tyler Finau bats for Champlin Park, and he takes low from Deacon Eckes here in relief of Sam Frawley, ball 1.
Of course, Harry Carey would always call Dante Bichetti the first time up before he corrected himself.
It looks like Bichetti. It very well could be.
It
1 ball, pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Finau denied a walk and an RBI base hit. Tied for the team lead with 11 runs batted in now. And he
Yeah.
could add to that here with the bases loaded.
Juiced, and you hate to see this guy up here, but you need to induce that ground ball. But first, you got to get it across.
Eckes 2-0 delivery, and that's going to be a wild pitch back to the screen. And they will not attempt to score McGee from third. So it's 3 balls, no strikes.
That time you could see he's been trying to go 3/4, but it's all about that arm slot and staying on top of that ball, even if you drop it to a sidearm. You can command that pitch with a little bit more conviction, but that one floated on him.
And that one up just high at the letters, ball 4. That'll walk a run in. Finau will get an RBI, his second of the game. And here comes Coach John Heath, and it looks like he's going to make the change here for Andover.
Coach Heath knows his stuff. Hey, he played college ball at Iowa State. Pitching coach also, assistant for the high school team. But just picks up on tendencies, and I'm sure tonight he's also trying to think of the pitching rotations for the rest of the week as well. So this is the first of 3 in a row. And trying to see what he could do to get to some success as Lucas Squire now steps in here.
Yep, Squire will move from second base to pitch here. Second pitcher of the inning, third of the game for Andover.
Squire.
And Squire here this season, you got the numbers there. He's pitched 4 innings,
Mm-hmm.
4 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts. Respectable ERA at 3.50. Teams are hitting what against him, Joe? 222? You got 222 on yours?
Yeah, I remember room 222.
That was
But,
a heck of a show.
mhm.
Great theme song, too.
Oh, that was.
So,
Dun, 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 dun,
yes.
dun, dun. See that? But you get a look at the Champlin Park squad as try to get a look at this new pitcher coming in with Squire. And that's the tough part when you're trying to coach American Legion, and a lot of fluid schedules, rotating events and things such as that. And then also some programs just decide, hey, you know what? If you're not going to play college ball next year or whatever, we're going to let the underclassmen get some reps. But it just depends on, hey, the need for players. And as you mentioned, he has several players that would probably be playing VFW ball. But because of the fact they needed players at Legion, They have that. Then also you're battling club ball for many of these guys. So we'll get a look at Squire and see what he can do with his time on the mound. It's a work now to a 7-0 lead. Still the base is juiced.
Looks like Reed Lindgren, number 23, is in at second base for Squire. Squire moves from second to the mound. And Reed Lindgren finds himself in the game at second base. So Andover's got a few more bench players here tonight than Champlin Park has, so they've got a little more maneuverability as Theraldson will face Squire here. And the first pitch is a ball 1-0.
That's kind of a welcoming little breeze blowing in.
Squire, third pitcher of the game here for Andover. Theraldson, a walk and a fielder's choice. Will be a single and a fielder's choice. This will be a high fly ball to center. Heller drifting towards right center. The runner at third, Zahalka, will tag. He'll score. Runner will also move up to third. And it's 8-0 Champlin Park. RBI sacrifice fly for Joe Theraldson.
That's the 10th ball in which Heller has been involved, necessarily getting a putout, but running them down in the gaps. Flyouts to center, or trying to cut off an extra base hit. So they've been finding that ball where they like it, getting it out in front of the plate and driving it deep. 8-0 lead now for Champlin.
Theraldson's 6th run batted into the season. Runners at first and third. Drew Kaluza, who is the pitcher for Champlin Park, and his team has given him an 8-0 lead. He takes high here, 1-0. Kaluza, 2-run single in the second inning and a fly out, 1 for 2 here tonight. The Squire pitch, breaking ball hits the outside corner, and that'll make it a 1-1 count.
Last weekend with Anoka just having 10 players, including Reagan Reeder, out with that all-star. Oh, my.
That pitch a little high over the glove of Abbas, and in from third will be Cohen. 9-0 Champlin Park on the wild pitch.
But they were going to try to take 10 players up to Grand Rapids for a weekend tournament. I'm not sure how they did, but they got their workout against Brooklyn Park. In fact, Anoka was up, I think, 8-2. They ended up losing that game by about 4 runs.
2 balls and 1 strike. Finau now at second, and there's a strike. 2-2.
But just to kind of hit on the variance and the diverse rosters availability here, but I always love, hey, now when they start getting to this point of the season, they start to tighten up that roster, get things going.
2-2 pitch high, 3-2.
And of course, that Gopher Classic is kind of a signature spot where teams kind of make their final adjustments and get their run for the end of the season and in the postseason.
2 down. Here's the Squire pitch off the end of the bat, speared by Squire on the mound. Quick toss to first. And that's all for Champlin Park here in the 4th inning, but a big inning here for Champlin. They add 4 on a hit. They were helped out by some walks in this top of the 4th as well, and they'll leave 1 on base. 3.5 bottom of the 4th coming up, and Champlin Park now has opened up a 9-0 lead.
That they have. We'll see if they decide maybe to not exactly throwing a lot of pitches here as he looks like coming out to the mound in this 4th inning.
Well, they have games Wednesday and Thursday. Then they've got the long break. They won't play again for another 8 days until July 7th. As Andover will batting, Winters, Boynton, Abbas, and Heller, the batters here. And they look up at the scoreboard, and they're in a 9-0 hole. They'll have to here in the 4th and 5th inning.
86 degrees tonight. Beautiful. Minimal humidity from the southeast. And,
throwing some pollen your way?
I promised myself I wouldn't cry. And then here we go. We're back. A lot of cough drops today. But still haven't been able to cure. But we'll be ready back at it for Thursday.
They, I don't think they'll ever cure allergies. It's a part of life.
It is. So we are set here, and it is Kaluza looking that he's got a pretty good spin rotation on that breaking pitch as he tries to perfect it.
He's gone 3 innings, no runs, giving up just the 1 hit, and that was that just a hopper to first base. It went off the leg of Finau and was ruled a hit. That's the only hit he's given up, and the 1 strikeout. and a couple of walks as well.
Well, I have to check and see what Tony/Stash thought that was, as he's shooting above the Champlin dugout. See if he still thought that was a hit. I had to give him a hit for it.
Winters Boynton. Strike called. 1 strike. Aiden flied to right back in the 2nd inning.
Quiet.
Popped
Not
up,
here.
foul over our heads. No balls, 2 strikes. Andover will play tomorrow. Then they'll be off until July 6th. So they'll have a week off for the 4th of July break. Swing and a miss. Foul back. He didn't get a piece of it. It just went back to the backstop, and he's going to gain first base. That'll be a swinging strikeout, but a wild pitch, allowing Winters Boynton to gain first base. So it goes as the 2nd strikeout for Drew Kaluza in the game. He gets credit for that, but with the wild pitch, Winters Boynton on base. Leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 4th for Andover, and here's the catcher, Sam Abbas.
I'll tell you, Abbas stroked the ball well in that 1st inning. A line drive that almost got beyond the glove.
First
And
pitch
left
swinging here, bounces it just wide of 3rd. 1 strike. Yeah, that's one I remember. Abbas went down and kind of golfed it. That one was just at about his ankles.
Right.
Went down, got it, lined it. And Wexeth did a nice job having to react late to jump up and make that catch.
I don't think Wexeth thought was going to get that type of altitude.
1 strike to Abbas. Future Bethel Royal. Lines this one. That's well hit down the line. Wexeth was playing over there, so it'll be a single station to station here. Abbas to first and Winters Boynton to second. And something cooking here for Andover. 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, and Teddy Heller will step to the plate.
Yeah, let's see here with Heller going.
Get a courtesy runner over at first base. And that is going to be Butler. So Kellen Butler will run over at first as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Butler at first, Winters Boynton at second. Here's Teddy Heller. Heller reaching an air back in the 2nd. And you'll look at ball 1 here.
Heller, of course, with that speed. Let's see what he can do here. Of course, down 9-0.
Well,
in
if you're
that
going
thick
to come
grass, you might think, hey, maybe
lay
a
down
bunt,
a bunt,
and berries.
Yep. There's on the outside corner, 1-1. If you're down 9-0, and if you're going to rally, you can't rally until getting that first one. So Andover trying to start something here in the bottom of the 4th.
That thick grass in the infield, tough to come up clean with the ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. 4 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. That one brushed him off the plate. And it's 2-1 to Heller with Besky on deck.
Kaluza brings some juice up and in that time on Heller. Heller was thrown out at 2nd on an attempted steal in the 2nd inning. That ended the 2nd inning for Andover.
Ooh, nice curveball. Boy, did he pull the string on that. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Great spinner that time. Good movement. And you could just see his arm slot. That elbow stays up high, doesn't drop down, and that will increase some movement.
2-2 pitch comes back with a breaking ball, and it's lifted in the air to right field. Zaholka standing, waiting, and making the catch. Runners will stay put, 1 out.
And see, there's that case where a good breaking pitch, hands drop, and that induces that fly ball. Good movement that time, good pitch selection. Very confident with that breaking pitch is Kaluza.
Right fielder Besky struck out back in the 2nd, 0 for 1. Runners still at 1st and 2nd here for Andover, looking for that first run of the game. Swing and a miss. Good velocity that time from Kaluza. 1 strike to Besky.
Look across here and try to find a pitch.
Little bouncer to the middle, and that's through for a base hit. Seeing eye hit just out of the read of Oxborough. And everybody will move up, and the bases will be loaded. That'll be a base hit for Besky. Winters Boynton goes to 3rd. Butler's at 2nd. Bases loaded. Still just 1 out. And here's a chance for Matthew Bauman to get his Andover Legion team here on the board.
Yeah, a little bleeder that time by Besky as he lunged at it. That ball came in on his hands. Off the handle, but found its way to the outfield for the second hit of the inning here for Andover, as they now have bases juiced.
Bauman reached in a walk back in the third inning. Takes a strike.
As you can see that breaking pitch with conviction right on the outside part of the plate. Great location. And when you're starting off with the breaking pitch like that, you really put the hitter on defense.
One strike pitch on the left side, threw for a hit just out of the reach of Brooks at third, and that'll score the run. And Andover is on the board. It's 9-1. RBI base hit here for Matthew Bauman.
Yeah, it looked like he was sitting on that fastball, got the bat head out, kept it on the ground. A three-hopper gets by third.
First RBI of the season for Bauman. And now the number 9 hitter, the DH, Butler. And actually this is Lindgren who's hitting now in that number 9 spot. So they have taken out the DH, and Lindgren, who's now playing at second base, came in for Squire. Batting here in the number 9 spot, swing and a miss there. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 9 hitter, Reed Lindgren. Swings this one and knocks it down at short. It was off the ground. It'll be a 6-4-3 double play.
Nice play by Thoroldson that time.
He short-hopped it. Thoroldson at short-hopped it, and he wasn't sure if he caught it or not. He made sure he was going to make the play to second, because eitherwise it was going to be a double play regardless, because the runner at second was off the bag. That's the second inning-ending double play turned in this game by Champlin Park, and they'll take a 9-1 lead as we go to the 5th. 9-1, Andover on the board now, and it's high school and Legion baseball at QCTV Sports.
Hi. Can I get the now bar, please?
No problem. $1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a now bar, please?
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a now bar?
Hey, stop right there! Get down on the ground out of your spot, right? Get down! Over your head! Now!
Fifth inning about to begin. 9-1 Champlin Park. Andover in that bottom of the 4th got a run on a hit, and ended up leaving a couple on. The double play ended the inning. Ended what could have been a bigger ending maybe for Andover. As we move to the 5th here for Champlin Park, and their number 9 hitter, Wexeth, is the due batter here. Champlin Park has scored 9 runs in the last 3 innings. They enter here the 5th inning, and Wexeth will take.
Squire comes out for his 2nd inning here for Andover.
Wexeth a single and a ground out, 1 for 2. Slow roller to short. Kelly will have to charge, gobbles, plants, throws, 1 out. Wexeth down, 1 down, top of the order. Here's Justin Brooks.
Good play by Patty Kelly, not only having a great year in the field, but also just talk to Coach John. He's just a great leader all around, and that's the guy you want around those underclassmen. Especially as he'll be playing probably second base, because D'Agostino, his former teammate, playing short for Wisconsin Superior.
Pitch is up high. 1 ball to Justin Brooks, who's had a nice game here. 3 for 3, a couple of singles and a triple, an RBI, a run scored. 2 balls and no strikes to him here.
Yeah, and you rarely see this guy get fooled. High school, he was hitting at 600 the first time I had a chance to cover him when they played Andover. Finished the season at about 450.
Hitting today 448, but he's probably over 500 now. He's finally retired for the first time with a fly ball to center caught by Heller And now 2 up, 2 down here for the pitcher Squires. We bring up Chase Oxborough. 2 down, Oxborough a single, a fly out, RBI ground out, 1 for 3 and an RBI here tonight. Key here for Squire is to keep it a 9-1 game, give his team a chance to try and chip away, guarantee themselves at least another inning past the 5th. Oxborough takes way up high, ball 1. That one's in the dirt, 1-1.
As you mentioned, the Champlin Park squad, certainly an impressive summer so far.
Off the handle, little squibber, Lindgren over to first, and it's our first 1-2-3 inning here for Andover. They retire Champlin Park in order in the top of the 5th. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 9-1 Champlin Park.
That's the first Wisconsin inning. You get in, you get out, 3 up, 3 down, and get back to hit again. So first one tonight for both squads, perhaps. I should take a look at that, but at least for Andover defensively.
Andover went 1-2-3 in the first. So that was our only other 1-2-3 inning. So teams have gotten guys on here in this game, but it's been Champlin Park that's been able to string the hits together, be able to be aggressive at the plate, make contact, and double-digit hits here tonight, and that has yielded what is a 9-1 lead as we look at Andover Legion's upcoming schedules. We mentioned they've got games both Thursday and Friday, 3 in a row. We'll have that one on Thursday for you right here on QCTV.
And they go Westfall Armstrong on July 6th, as you mentioned, about a little over a week off to rest those arms, and then they host Anoka on 7/11. That's for the Andover squad. Meanwhile, for post 600 Champlin, they are at home against Osseo on the 28th tomorrow, then also Spring Lake Park on the 29th. They also will be playing Westfall Armstrong on the 10th of July, and then Elk River on 7/12. They get that break, and I don't believe the Huskies or Andover is playing in the Gopher Classic. Champlin, I know, is, and is Anoka. I want to say Champlin may be playing down in Chaska. I have the schedule.
Champlin plays in the Bloomington tournament.
They are in Bloomington.
The July 7th, 8th, and 9th. They'll play Bloomington Blue, Eastridge. Of course, high school, they were the state champs. Hutchinson. And then they get a chance to play Fargo, Legion post number 2, and then Ralston.
Pitching change here as Jack Lovin steps in and takes the mound responsibilities here for Champlin.
Drew Kaluza, 4 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, struck out 2, walked 2. That is his line. Looking for his first win of the season. What was his second start? And right now that's looking pretty good for Drew Kaluza, with Lovin coming in here in relief for Champlin Park. Lovin on the season, 8 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 3rd appearance. He's 0-1 on the season, 8 hits, 1 run. That run was earned. 4 strikeouts, no walks, and a pretty good ERA of 1.40 here for Jack Lovin in relief of Drew Kaluza, who pitched really well, Joe.
Oh, he did. He did. You saw that. Well, good breaking. The longer he went, I thought the stronger his breaking pitch got, as he had a chance to dial that in and held Andover to just that 1 run.
Top of the order here for Andover, Patty Kelly leads it off. Single, one of the 4 hits in the game here for Andover. Scored a run back in the bottom of the 4th, looking for more here in the bottom of the 5th, and he'll take a ball, 1-0.
Get a look, tries to go inside and move Kelly off the plate.
As he did there, also inside 2-0, Peary and Squire, the do-batters.
I mean, we talk about a disciplined hitter. That's what Patty Kelly brings to each at-bat.
Fouled at the plate, 2-1. Lovin was not in the lineup to start. He was their 10th player here. He was their bench player. And coming in here in relief He was probably the first guy they would go to in a relief situation. So the plan kind of moving right along here for Coach Robinson, Spencer Robinson. First year as a head coach for Legion, but he had been an assistant for 5 years. He'd been around the program and around Champlin Park baseball for a while. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Patty Kelly.
You mentioned coming into the game hitting 800.
Bouncer up over the head of Loven. Middle of the infield. Oxborough knocks it down. He won't have a play. That'll be an infield hit here for Andover. That's 4 hits in the last 2 innings. They have 5 for the game, and the leadoff man is on with Kelly at first.
Kelly moves to 2 for 3 on the night. Also this season, he's it's rare, but he's has yet to strike out. I would expect that. He's a contact hitter, makes you battle up there, but strikeout free thus far this season.
Grant Peary, going to be a senior this fall at Andover High School. Line to short, walked. 0 for 1 in the game tonight, takes low. Ball 1.
As I mentioned before, leads the team in walks now with 7 and loves that low pitch. Around the shins and the inside part of the plate. You've seen him take a couple of swacks at some of those tonight already.
The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2, 2-0.
Loven takes a little extra time, a little look to take an extra deep breath to figure things out and toes that rubber again.
Runner at first, Kelly. Finau holding with him there, and it's in the air down the right field line. This is going to be trouble. It's going to be a fair ball. Lands in along the line, rounding second to third, and now Kelly rounding third. He'll come in to score, and heading to third with a triple as Grant Peary slides in head first, and Andover has their second run of the game on an RBI triple by Grant Peary.
Some quick hands that time by Peary. Came inside, and you can almost tell he likes to entertain that pitch coming inside, and got his hands inside the ball, even on an inside pitch, and drove that down this right field line, picks up that triple and the RBI.
Yeah, Peary adds to his team leading RBI total with his 11th. Little bouncer right in front of the mound. Loven, easy toss to first. That'll keep the runner at third. And Squire out on a pitch, 1 down. And here's Aiden Winters Boynton. So Peary on at third, 11th RBI of the season with a triple. And then Kelly scoring on that to make the score 9-2. Besky, Heller, and Abbas had the only other triples entering this game here tonight for Andover. So a 4th triple of the game, or of the season, excuse me, and first of the year for Squire, or for Peary, with Squire retired. Winters Bounton is the batter, and he'll take ball 1, 1-0. Winters Bowden, a fly to right, strikeout. Reaching a wild pitch on that strikeout because it skipped past on the wild pitch, past the catcher McGee all the way back to the backstop, and Winters Boyden eventually scored when he only reached. We thought he was out. Strike, a strikeout, but you know, you take advantage of those little plays, and that's exactly what Andover did back in the 4th inning. 2 balls and no strikes count to him, and he takes a strike. Now 2-1. Abbas on deck.
10 ribbies already for Boynton. On base percentage of .429.
Bouncer to the left side, and the shortstop Thoraldson will toss it over to first. Second out of the inning. And that'll leave Perry at third, 2 down, and the batter will be Sam Abbas. Yeah, I misread that. Winters Boynton has 10 runs batted in. Peary's RBI was his 6th of the season.
Far be it from me to correct.
No, you did it properly. You did it very passive-aggressively, which is I endorse. Right side. This one's going to split the fielders or not. No. Oh, it's off the glove of Zahalka in right field. And that ball is down. It'll be a double here for Abbas. Zahalka probably won't want us to give him an error on that one. And Abbas is on at second with a 2-out base runner there. And we'll get a courtesy runner once again for Abbas.
And you know what?
It'll be Butler.
Running in that gap, did you take the right path? Running on those toes versus those heels. If you're running on that full foot, that ball is bouncing up and down.
Yeah, we'll give him a double on that. We're a little more lenient here on the scoring and summer ball. So Abbas a single and a double now, and the batter is Teddy Heller. And it's hit the other way. That'll slice foul. 1 strike to Heller, who reached on an air and flied to right. 0 for 2 tonight.
Andover's put up their first crooked number of the night with the 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Lowen getting some run time, as they have just the 10 players tonight.
Kelly and Peary have both scored runs here in the 5th inning. Abbas with that RBI double will take a strike here, does Heller, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Abbas adding to his RBI total. He now has 6 on the season. Heller, though, in an 0-2 hole here. 2 down. Andover would like to extend the inning. There's a swing and a miss.
Nice pitch.
And Heller goes down swinging. Loven gets him to chase on 0-2, the advantage of being ahead in the count, and Loven takes advantage of that. Heller down swinging, but Andover chipping away here. A run last inning, and now they get 2 here in the 5th. 2 runs and a couple of hits, and they leave a runner on. We go to the 6th. We played 5. Here as the clouds increase at Andover High School. It's 9-3 Champlin Park Legion Baseball on QCTV Sports. Up beyond the outfield, we got some grazing bovines, I appear. Are those brown Swiss? I can't tell. Are they Jersey? Guernsey?
You know,
it's hard to tell from that angle.
It is.
Good to see they're out there grazing. So we've got livestock, we've got baseball, we've pretty much got anything we need here as we move to the top of the 6th inning. McGee, Zahalka, and Cohen. And the pitch is up high. Ball 1 here to McGee. Squire starting his first full inning of work here.
All I could tell you is they were hungry.
McGee starting his second full inning of work, in fact.
He's only thrown 4 innings coming into this game.
He came in relief in the 4th, finished that inning. Came in relief of Eckes and then pitched the 5th and got him in order 1-2-3. And now he's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ty McGee, who has a hit, a walk, and a run scored. And it's a called strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Certainly Coach Heath, one of those guys who knows that game and the pitching element and knows, hey, he can maybe get by with a certain pitcher, what's working, adjust the technique.
1-2 delivery.
Especially for Lucas Squire, someone who hasn't thrown a whole lot, but you're always looking for arms in Legion ball.
He's done a nice job. He's pretty much retired, 5 in a row. His first at bat that he faced was a sacrifice. That's an out, and then he gets a swing and a miss here. McGee down swinging. 1 down. That's the first strikeout for Andover pitching tonight. First of the game for Squire, obviously, with 1 down, nobody on, and Zach Zahalka, the cleanup hitter for Champlin Park. Look at the pitch here.
Swung over the top of that breaking pitch. Good location, good
downward break. And on the inner part of the plate, tough one to reach for the batter. And Zahalka looks at strike 1 here. Squire pitching well here in relief. Trying to keep Champlin Park exactly where they're at. Andover, 2 opportunities here to try and chip away, down by 6. But they got to keep him here at 9-3. Breaking ball misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And what Squires is doing is he's throwing strikes, right? No, hey, the more walks,
Working quickly as well as he delivers,
Absolutely.
and that's fouled back, 1 and 2.
and that equates to better defense and what have you. So that's helped him immensely. In fact, for Squire, that looks like his first strikeout of this Legion season. As I mentioned earlier, teams are hitting 222.
1-2 pitch high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cohen on deck, 1 out.
That's the lowest opponent batting average on this Andover squad.
Very pleasant evening with the clouds starting to shroud the sun a bit. 2-2 pitch hit well, right center field. Heller on the run, and this one's going to 1-hop, 2-hop the fence. And Zaholka will stride into second base with his second double of the game with a 2-out double. Adding to that hit total now at 12 in the game here for Champlin Park. 1 down, and here's Aaron Cohen to the plate.
I put a good swing on that pitch. You know, sometimes you see someone coming in, doesn't usually have that velocity, the velo, but has some breaking pitch. You see a lot of hitters overswing. That time he stayed to his swing and laced that one to right center.
Cohen 1 for 2. Up and away, ball 1. Finau up next. Third baseman Bauman, even with the bag at third. 1-0 delivery, fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The good thing with Squire is he can throw that breaking pitch on any count. He doesn't have to just wait. So as a hitter, you aren't necessarily sitting and waiting for that fastball. He's kind of pitching backwards.
Keeping him off balance. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Squire to the plate, misses outside, 2-1.
But even in that case, he didn't miss by much. Right around that plate, keeps everything in motion. Fielders stay active.
Back to the plate, 2-1. Lace to left, Peary coming in, and he's going to have to play it on a hop, and it sneaks by him. He'll go back to get it. Runner at third, they'll send him. Peary comes up with it, and scoring easily will be Zaholka. And Cohen is on with a single and then an error, allowing Cohen to advance to second base. Second error charge to Andover here tonight, and Zaholka comes in to score. It's 10-3.
That had some wicked, filthy topspin. Almost like a tennis player sitting on that baseline and getting that topspin. That ball was nosediving down in front.
Peary desperately wanted to catch that in the air and get his team an out. In a game like this, there's a swing and a miss way over the top, and Squire really pulling the string, and Finau way over the top of it, and it's 1 strike. But, you know, Peary out and left wants to get the out. He wanted to, at best, to make that catch on his shoe tops.
Correct.
0-1 here to Finau. Couple of walks, a single, and an RBI here tonight. Takes the ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, a run in. Champlin Park adding to their lead, 10-3.
Probably a breaking pitch here. Nope.
It's the outside corner with a fastball.
I like it. I'm just thinking of the mind of the hitter.
1-2.
And he's been throwing a breaking pitch on off speed about 75–80% of the time. And he snuck a fastball just underneath the garage door, enough across for a strike.
Comes back this time with a breaking ball, and that's off of Kelly. He'll bounce it, pick it up, and will not have a play. Everybody's going to be safe. That'll be the second error of the inning here, charged to Andover. And runners will be at first and second with Theraldson now batting. Theraldson, a single, run scored, fielder's choice, sacrifice fly with an RBI. 6 runs batted into the season now. 1 out, first and second here for Champlin Park. Takes the ball.
And see, and even in his games, you know, Tharaldson here is not going to chase. Waits for it. Baseball is such a tricky thing. Something can just throw you off.
1-0 pitch to center. Heller, couple of steps in, makes the catch. Runners will stay put. 2 down. And the other thing we've seen here, a different approach at the plate here for Champlin Park, just because Swire throws different, is they're not swinging on the first pitch.
Yep, and you read
quite
my mind.
as often as they did against Frawley.
Good job of picking up on tendencies, and that's exactly it. And you start swinging. Loven will get his first at bat here, by the way.
And Loven swings and misses, goes chasing on that pitch down low, 1 strike. Loven now pitching in the place of Kaluza, who had 3 plate appearances, gone 1 for 3, 3 runs batted in, knocked in 2 with a base hit earlier in the game here tonight. And Loven again this time after swinging over the top of that first one, and that one's in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Loven. Loven 6 at bats coming in, his 4th appearance, 1 hit in those 6 at bats, has 1 run batted in, hitting 167. And he'll take the fastball high. It's a ball. Quick snap, throw down. Runner there. Finau gets back. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I wish that 167 was my weight versus his average, but they're working at it. But baseball, one of those things like golf, right? You try to overswing. You're swinging it. Well, you're off the tee box. Everything's hitting fairway, and you think, I'm going to just put a little extra
2-1 pitch, fouled
power
away
behind this, and all of a sudden you lose it for like the next 3-4 holes.
I think that's the
And you
first
can't
foul
get it
ball
back.
we've had to the left side
You're right.
here tonight.
I think Patty Kelly had one on a ground ball.
But nothing in
Had
the
to dance
air
with
on a
nothing
play.
in the air, no.
No. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down. Squire trying to end it here. Here's the Squire pitch. Popped up, straight up the elevator shaft. Abbas calling everybody off, and he makes the catch. He gets rid of the mask, and Sam does a nice job, and that's all for Champlin Park. Here in the 6th inning, they do add to their lead. They get a run on a couple of hits, and they'll leave a couple on. There was a couple of errors in that 6th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's now 10-3 Champlin Park.
Andover will try to extend some at bats, see what they can do. If not for tonight, start getting some mojo going here for the next 2 games as well, as they mentioned, play some pretty good teams coming up, including Ham Lake Legion on Thursday night. Another game we'll have for you here on QCTV.
So is that Blaine? It's Blaine Ham Lake, right? The Legion is actually in Ham Lake.
Correct.
Up
yes.
on Highway 65. So if you say Ham Lake or Blaine, either one is good, or you can say them both at the same time.
I agree.
Is that your thought on that?
Yep, that's mine. I always thought Champlin Legion was just Champlin.
And I think it is too, because it's in Champlin, although it's not a Legion anymore. There's a Willie McCoy's there, but I think they still have a post that's still active.
Correct.
Post 600, which is kind of sad when you comment about the Legions. A lot of these towns had Legion posts and locations where you could have weddings and, you know, that a bar and restaurant. A lot of those had gone out of business prior to the pandemic, and the other ones went out of business and after the pandemic because they just couldn't make it. And, you know, you hate seeing that because I think the Legion, the VFWs, are a big part of our communities and obviously a big part of America. So it's sad to see some of those towns. And we have very active ones that are still very active as well. And a lot of times, if you lose a Legion in the town, another Legion from an adjoining town will sponsor a team in a town that doesn't have a Legion anymore, or a team that had never had a Legion before, or it gets sponsored by the Minneapolis overall governing board. So I think it's a part of Americana. Of course, the American Legion World Series is a big, big deal. And certainly summer baseball is a big deal here in Minnesota. So it's great to see those towns come together, even in cities and towns that lose their actual Legion post or their brick and mortar location. Keeping traditions alive like American Legion baseball is certainly key, as Andover comes up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now they need 7 to rally, down 10-3. And the batter is Beskey, and he'll take ball 1, 1-0. Beskey, Bauman, and Lindgren here, bottom third of the order. Andover scored 3 runs the last couple of innings here, trying to chip away. And that's low, 2 balls and no strikes. Beskey, a strikeout and a single, 1 for 2 tonight.
Look here, I got to just tell you, it was always, you love these summer nights for Legion ball.
Swing and a miss, 2-1.
We always had competitive Legion squads. In fact, the guy who had pitched just 12 miles from us, Fairfax on Highway 19, Dana Kicker.
Swing and a miss. Didn't he go to St. Cloud State?
He did, and then
2-2
pitched for
count
the
here.
Red Sox for a time.
Yeah, a nice major league career.
Mike Kingery, Barry Willer. They were all
2-2, swung on and missed. Beskey down swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts going back to last inning for Jack Loven. And one down in the bottom of the sixth here for Andover.
kind of finding his mojo here in the bottom of the sixth.
Matthew Bauman walking a single. 1 for 1 tonight. Bats with the bases empty. Fastball hit up the middle. That grass is so thick in the infield, slows it up. But a little toss over. Therrellson to first, 2 up, 2 down.
I always liked that glove work from Therrellson at short. It was at the inning before or previous where he had that line drive kind of diving down. He probably could have taken a step into that, but there's nothing like a one-hopper into your glove, and that's exactly what he did. Wanted the one hop and then led to that double play and flipping the roll tide for 2 for Therrellson.
Both teams with good fielding shortstops here.
Yes.
Kelly, of course, on the other side here for Andover, and second baseman Reed Lindgren. Last hope here for Andover in the bottom of the sixth. First pitch a strike. That one a little higher. Popped the glove, but up high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Love to see that powder coming out of that mitt.
1-1 count if he gets on. Kelly on deck. Popped up foul. And that's off the backstop, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, I've never had a chance for a foul ball at any of these Andover games when I'm sitting here. It's a tough angle to get that ball to spin back.
This one hit in the air, right field line, long run for Zahalka, and can't get there. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I got one at a minor league game in Memphis, sitting in the press box, the Memphis Redbirds, the AAA team for the Cardinals. And I've got a Pacific Coast League minor league ball somewhere in my collection. But yeah, I've never had one ever at a Twins game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, up high, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, top of the order on deck for Andover. 2 down, the base is empty. And the Loven wind and 2-2 pitch. Tried to get him to chase on the curveball, and it's in the dirt back to the backstop, full count.
Yeah, that one looked like it just kind of got jammed up, something on his hand, on his grip. Cuffed it a little too tight. Let's see if he comes back, maybe pulls a string to try to make a correction on that breaking pitch.
Lindgren didn't start the game. He came in at second base when Squire moved a pitcher. And a ball on the ground to third. Brooks with the play over to first in time, a 1-2-3 inning. Good inning here by Loven. Andover goes down in order in the bottom of the sixth. We played 6, still 10-3 for Champlin on QCTV Sports.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Andover High School baseball fields, where we're at here tonight on QCTV, along with Joe Rulin. I'm Jim Erickson. We are moving on into the 7th. Champlin Park leading at 10-3. And their number 9 hitter is the due batter. That's Tristan Wexeth. And starting him out is Squire with a strike.
Hey, Squire doing a nice job settling down and getting Andover some innings. Out on the mound, coming in, just throwing 4 innings on the season.
1 strike pitch to Wexeth in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Squire came in relief. He's the 3rd pitcher of the game for Andover. Sam Frawley started the game. Pitch 3. Eckes came in. got a third of an inning in, and Squire now starting what would be his third full inning. He's pitched 2 2/3, entering this 7th inning. 1-1 pitch fouled up over the screen out of play behind our heads. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brooks and Oxborough due to bat here for Champlin Park in the 7th.
So you had said you grew up raising cattle, right? Your
Yeah,
dad?
I grew up on a farm. Yeah,
And
we had beef
I
cattle.
noticed how you identified.
It was
That was
hard
out
to.
by Evelyn.
It certainly wasn't a Holstein. Here's one pulled over the bag, but just to the left of it. We were a little not right down the line. The umpire was, but that one just left of the bag and foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's definitely not a Hereford. Wasn't an Angus. Those light brown ones. It's hard to tell from a distance, and I'm a little rusty in that department. But my guess of that is always a Jersey or a Guernsey.
I
or a
was
brown Swiss.
impressed with that depth of knowledge, and then I just remembered, yeah, you had shared that.
You're surprised? 1 ball, 2 strikes. That missed 2-2. Wexeth today does have one of the singles here for Champlin Park, one of the hits. They have 13 hits in the game. 2 hits their last inning. 13 for the game, pitches high, and that'll fill the count at 3-2.
But see, even in this situation here, you're hitting the ball well. Team's putting up some runs. Don't chase.
Line, that'll be into center. Heller over to cut it off, and Wexeth has his 2nd hit of the game.
Yep, left that one up around the letters. Got the bat head out. And now they can flip the lineup to Brooks. 3 for 4 on the night.
Yeah, Brooks with 3 straight hits, 2 singles, a triple, was finally retired back in the 5th inning. Fly to center. First pitch here is low and away, ball 1.
Ryan doing a great job in the truck tonight, since Taylor will be out for some time here. There's a capper.
Taylor's father. This one's going to be hit into right center field. That'll make its way all the way to the fence. Brooks heading to second. Wexeth will stop at third. It's a stand-up double. And another hit here for Champlin Park. 2 hits in the inning, 2 on, second and third, nobody out.
4 for 5 for Brooks.
Not a bad night.
His swing never changes. It's like watching the Joker play for the Nuggets. He only plays at one pace. And you watch Brooks swing, every time it's that same swing. And just about every time he squares up.
Cesar Romero played for the Nuggets? I'm surprised.
Big post guy.
Here's Oxborough, who will take up and away.
Good job by Oxborough there, not chasing.
Oxborough with the base hit. He also has an RBI here tonight. 1 for 3 in the game. 1 ball count to him. On the ground sharply. That will be deep in the hole at short. Kelly up with a tough throw, and he got him. Nice play
Beautiful.
by Patty Kelly. We said he could field that position, and he does. A run will score. 11-3 Champlin Park.
Nice web gem there for Patty Kelly. Not only good glove work, but to flick that wrist and the accuracy with some conviction on that throw. And he needed a little spice on that throw just to get the runner. You can see a little Hoover vacuum, sweeping it up, the transfer.
And then the
Excellent.
arm. And
Absolutely.
the arm to get it there as well from deep at short. And the batter now, Ty McGee, Champlin Park catcher. Flied to center, single, walked, struck out. Runner at third. Trying to pick him up there. There's a strike called.
As McGee gets another look here at Squire. You can kind of see the adjustments they make their second time through.
1 ball, 1 strike. Down the line. This is going to be in there for extra bases. Peary over to get it. Rounding first is McGee. No. He heard me talk and say he was in for extra bases for sure, and he took a big turn.
He's a catcher.
And Peary got it quickly back in. It'll be an RBI single for McGee. His first run batted into the season, 3rd hit of the inning. And number 16 of the game here. The hitting shoes have been on for Champlin Park, and that scores another run. It's 12-3.
Yeah, he got out in front of that one, way out in front of that plate. Got on top of it to get that spin down. That top spin, I mean, you see them. Hands to the ball, top half of the ball, good swings.
McGee, his 12th run batted into the season. That's team leading. Finau also with 12, who has 2 RBIs. Runner goes, and
Nice.
the throw down, and they got him.
I said we've seen some great defensive plays. That's a second throw out for Abbas tonight. A great play at short by Kelly. They've had to come up with some great plays just to force some of the Champlin players out, and a couple of good ones. Here's a good pop time here. Boom.
Yeah, Zahalka, the batter. Pitch was a ball. It's 2-0. Bases are now empty, and there's a strike called.
Low pitch that time also for Abbas to come up and throw a strike to second base, and a couple of bases tossed out for him. He'll enjoy his time at Bethel. Bethel really doing a great job of turning that corner as they made it to the Power Region this year again.
2-2 is the pitch as Zahalka fouls it back. Zach Zahalka, a couple of doubles here today with a walk, 2 for 3. 3 runs scored. Bases empty, 2 runs in here for Champlin Park on the outside corner. Zahalka will go down looking, and that's the third out of the inning. Second strikeout of the game for Squire. But Champlin Park adding to their lead. Couple of runs on 3 hits. Nobody left. Bottom of the 7th, last chance for Andover here, and they're down by 9, 12-3.
You can see the punch out. It wasn't exactly open the fridge, grab a beverage, and shut the door punch out, but it was still a good punch out nonetheless. And got caught looking on that one.
So Squire, 3 2/3 innings pitched for Andover in relief, 3 runs. Struck out a couple.
That was actually, Jim, the chainsaw punch-out technique.
Gave up 5 hits. Well, there's so many different styles, too. I'm glad you can keep track of them. 5 hits for Squire in that relief. Sam Frawley is the pitcher of record here for Andover. He started and went 3 innings as we move to the top of the 7th inning. And it looks like the top of the order due up here for Andover. Kelly, Peary, and Squire. And they need 9.
They do. Good to see Kelly. A couple of knocks here tonight. Again, came in hitting .800 and had 12 straight hits, I believe is what you said, Jim, to start this. And has reached base his last couple of times again this season. He has yet to strike out. Patty Kelly now with about 20 at-bats. Loven comes out for another inning for Champlin, and of course McGee strapping on the equipment. So they're getting things keyed away here. The McGee, maybe somebody else tossing on the equipment because it's taken them a while to get out, as Loven has yet to throw a warm-up pitch.
Sometimes those straps can be hard to find.
That again, and with nobody else, maybe one person on the bench to help him. Who knows? As again, Andover trying to find that seam, kind of find that flow to their game here.
Loven's looking for something to do.
That's what I'm saying. There's no one to throw to. They're looking for the. I was going to grab a mitt and get out there.
Here comes Ty McGee.
And I think they have somebody else.
No, that's
catching.
why. That's Wexeth.
There might be some
So
imported
that's why,
equipment.
right? 35, Wexeth. So that's why they're bringing a different player at catcher. Number 35, Wexeth. Wexeth, who had been in left field, so that means we must have a new left fielder.
Players a bit scattered.
Don't see anybody out in left field right now. Well, I think he's in the infield is what he's doing.
That's going to be 19.
That'll be Ty McGee, who was the catcher. So they did a flip-flop. Left field for catcher.
Light drop starting to fall. Good for the yard. A little bit more intensity would be nice.
Yes, it would be. So McGee will be out in left. And Wexeth getting a chance to play behind the plate. To mix things around a little bit here for Champlin Park. There you see McGee, who had played the previous 6 innings behind the plate.
Whoa.
Were you going to show me?
The truck got hit by a ball.
Like right now?
I guess that was just in.
When did that happen?
Looks like it just transpired. My daughter sending me a picture from a course she's out on tonight.
Where's that? Crystal Lake in
Yes.
Lakeville?
Yes, you got it. Good eyes.
Where did the ball come from? Because we weren't doing any. I mean, that's the first pitch of the inning. Was it a tennis ball from the tennis racket?
Or
Are you
maybe
sure they didn't have a tire blow and they thought it was a ball hitting?
overthrow. That's what it was. I thought maybe it was
oopsie. Top of the order, Patty Kelly is batting here for Andover.
a high-density pickleball.
First pitch was a strike. Second one is low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kelly adding to his average here. Although he's 2 for 3, his average actually is going to go down. He's hitting 800 coming in, hitting 666 for the game. Mathematically, his average is going to go down. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to him. Peary and Squire to follow up. Andover needs a pile here in the 7th, and it'll be a roller to second base. Oxborough over to first, 1 out. Here's Grant Peary.
Peary, that left-handed swing. Good quick hands. Laced one for a triple his last time up. And an RBI.
And Kaluza was the starter. He's the pitcher of record here for Champlin Park. Went the first 4 innings. A run, 4 hits, struck out a couple, walked a couple. Now the left-handed batting Grant Peary. The left fielder, senior to be at Andover High School, takes ball 1 from Jack Loven. Peary lined to short, walked, knocked in a run with a single back in the 5th inning, his 6th run batted into the season. And the 1-0 is in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes with Squire on deck.
Continuing trying to go low on Peary as he's had success with those low pitches.
Ready with the 2-0, hits that one at the knees, 2-1.
Curious if they try to walk the ladder on the hook swing.
Two balls, 1 strike. Loven to Peary.
Great big
way
pitch.
out in front of that one. 2-2. That's a nice change of pace and change up there from Loven. Evens a count at 2-2.
He had to drop a good 7-8 miles an hour on his velo on that pitch. It almost spun him into the ground.
2-2, hit the other way, slap inside out pitch and then swing, and that's going to be towards the bullpen and easily out of play.
Hey, he walked the ladder that time, trying to bring it up high, check his hands. He knows he's got some quick hands down low and inside.
Here's another 2-2 pitch. Good break on that one, and it's in the dirt. Peary would not chase, and that fills the count 3-2.
And a little hook trying to get that back left leg, targeting that. And bringing it back up here. Let's see where this one's.
3-2 from Loven. Right at the belt, called strike 3, 2 down.
Chainsaw punch out once again by the umpire behind the plate.
3rd strikeout for Jack Loven in the game here in relief. And with the strikeout and 2 down, that'll leave it up to Lucas Squire. This is a save situation for Loven, even though regardless of the score, if he finishes this up, as he's trying to do here, that would be 3 innings pitched, and that's a save regardless of the score.
Correct. Yep.
And Squire bounces this one foul towards 3rd. 0-1.
And there's low in the case. He's not going to overpower you, but his location.
That would be the first save of the season for Champlin Park, according to their stats. No balls and 2 strikes. Squire today 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs, including an inning-ending double play, and a grounder back to the pitcher, 0 for 3. 0-2 pitch on the ground to first. Finau will have it. He'll take it himself. And that'll finish Andover here in the bottom of the 7th, 3 up, 3 down. Jack Lofen came in and pitched well. In fact, he retired the last 7 men he faced. And he gets Squire to ground out there. And that is the end of the game. Bottom of the 7th. Here, Champlin Park in order. And they get Andover 1-2-3 in Champlin Park. An impressive 12-3 win here this evening, Joe.
Well, you know what? We knew they packed a punch and had some offensive explosion. They put up a couple of crooked numbers in 3 of their first 4 innings. 4 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th. And it was something Andover was not able to overcome. Was that deficit and some good pitching all the way out, consistent.
Kaluza gets the win. He's 1-0 here for Champlin Park. 4 innings, just the 1 run, 4 hits. Struck out 2, walked 2. He's 1-0 on the season. Loven gets the save. We mentioned 3 innings, 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Didn't walk anybody. Sam Frawley will take the loss, pitching the first 3 innings here for Andover tonight. 5 runs, 10 hits, no strikeouts. He walked 1. Eckes and Squire pitched in relief here tonight for Andover. Squire pretty solid in 3 2/3 to finish it up. Kept his team in the game, but in the end, just too much for Champlin Park. Champlin Park, 12 runs, 16 hits, 1 error. They left 7. And the line for Andover, 3 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. They leave 6. Andover falls to 2-4 in the North Hennepin League, 3-9 overall. And for Champlin Park, 4-1 in the league, 9-2 overall. For Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. Again, your final here tonight from Andover Legion Baseball. Champlin 12, Andover 3. Good night, everybody.